Welcome. Today I'm joined by Michigan attorney and part of our Firearms Legal Protection Network, Mr. Jim Makowski. Today we're going to talk about what happens when the police arrive and your family or friends are there. What should they do? So, Jim, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about your practice?
I've been an attorney for the past 19 years. My specialty is self-defense law. I travel over the state of Michigan to address cases involving self-defense, whether it's a lethal shooting or simply where someone has to display a firearm in self-defense.
Well, let me ask you this, Jim. Have you ever been in a situation where you have encountered, let's say, someone, let's say like me, father, I've had to use lethal force because someone's broken into the house and, there's a significant other in the home, there's family members or visitors. What do you recommend they do once the police arrive?
So if you are a suspect in a crime, obviously we all know that you have a right to remain silent. But if you're a family member, you don't have a right to remain silent, but you do have the right to have counsel present while being questioned. I recommend waiting until you can have an attorney present to answer any questions. That attorney can advise you, can go over the facts of the incident, and then can help you address the police and make a logical, coherent statement.
But Jim, here's the thing. If I've done nothing wrong and it's like really right in front of me, okay? I mean, I saw, my significant other pull a gun because somebody was attacking him. Shouldn't I just tell the police that?
No. I've had a case just very recently where my client drew his weapon to defend his wife. He thought his wife was being assaulted. There was a trespasser on the property. And it should have been clear-cut and quite easy to handle, except the wife made a statement to the police saying she didn't really feel threatened.
Oh, so he couldn't put himself in the shoes of his wife at that point because she wasn't threatened.
Exactly. It changed a reasonable use of force to an unreasonable use of force. And right there, that ruined the case, plus statements that my client made.
So, I've heard of instances where, isn't there an age requirement, for the police? So, for example, if I have a 10-year-old at home, okay, can I tell the police or, my spouse, can't we say, you can't talk to little Johnny?
No, you can't. The police can question anybody, even if they're 5 years old. The answers may not be as succinct, as accurate, and you can always question whether or not those answers are going to stand up, whether they're leading questions. It gives you a trial issue if they question those children without you being present, but it does not. You have no right to prevent the police from interviewing them.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, if I've got little Johnny's 10 and the police have me because they're going to separate me from everybody else, right?
Correct.
Because if I'm the one that, has used lethal force. But what about, mom? Can't mom say, nope, you're not going to talk to my son? I mean, does she have to make little Johnny available?
No, she has to make little Johnny available. There's no question about that. But you can ask that an attorney be present, even when questioning someone that young. And you should ask for an attorney to be present.
So let me ask this then. If that's the case, what you're saying is my son or my family members also have the same right to be questioned while an attorney is present. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay. So, and they can say, I'll make a statement once the attorney is present, correct?
Absolutely. They should say that and then stick to it. Don't change your mind. Don't go ahead and make a statement anyway after you say that. Shut up and stay shut up until you get an attorney present.
I like that. Shut up and stay shut up. I love it. So what about this? Do you recommend having this conversation with your family? In other words, I mean, listen, I've had it with mine. If something were to happen, this is what you do. You say nothing. You call Jim. You call this person. Let me ask, can one attorney represent the entire family?
One attorney can represent the entire family for questioning. If there's going to be multiple people charged, then you'll need multiple attorneys. But for questioning purposes, absolutely, one attorney can advise the whole family.
Outstanding. So, how would you recommend talking to your family to say, we need a plan? You know, for example, you should have plans at the house. If there's a fire, everybody should know, hey, meet out front by this part. If that place is, you know, not convenient due to whatever reasons, we're going to meet a block down. You know, if there's an issue, we call 911 on X, Y, and Z. What do you recommend to a family, and how would you have that talk with young kids?
I would have that talk with not just with regard to self-defense situations, but for any emergency that may pop up at the house. Power goes out when no adults are present. That's another great example. A fire, as Terry said. But you have a conversation, and you have to gauge it to the age of the children. But with regard to self-defense, if you know your children presumably know you have a firearm, and they know that it's there to protect them, and you have that conversation with the children, saying, if I am ever forced to use my firearm, everyone gather in a safe place. If there's something going on in the house, hide it in a safe, secure location, preferably one that locks, and wait for the police to come to you, or wait for me to come get you. But hide, and if you're older and you have the ability to aid in defending the house, that's another situation. But the default is you let a parent take care of the situation while you hide and call 911.
That's great advice. And, you know, one of the things is also, you know, we do this at schools as well, you know, because sometimes things happen at school, and believe it or not, the police can come, and even without the permission of the school, they can come and question your kid. I've had that happen before, and, you know, my children know they wait for me to come because, one, I'm the parent, and more importantly, I'm an attorney, and a lot of that gets shut down right away. So I'm going to ask you one last question. Doesn't that make you look guilty in the eyes of the police if you don't make a statement right away?
No, it doesn't. It makes you look wise. You know, we always say that you have the right to remain silent, but do you have the wisdom to remain silent? A lot of people don't.
I like that. I like that. That's very smart. So, Jim, how can the people out here in TV land, so to speak, or YouTube land, how can they get a hold of you?
You can reach me via my website, makowskilegal.com, makowskilegal.com, or my office number is 313-434-3900.
Outstanding. Again, Jim's one of the attorneys in our network. You'll be seeing more of Jim and other attorneys as we do more of these YouTube videos. If you like what you saw today, please hit the subscribe button and look for more. Thank you.